Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 Pacific for about an hour or 90 minutes every day. We do 3 gun-related topics each day, different topics throughout the week. We run it live on YouTube, and we're simulcasting it over at gunchannels.com, where we're watching the live comments from people that are watching us live. Then when it's all over, we'll take the audio, post that as a podcast over on iTunes. So we appreciate everybody who listens to the show now and in the future. And if we ask you to leave us some feedback, subscribe to our channels on whatever platform it is you listen to us. That lets us know where people are listening and who's out there. It also helps our shows to get recommended to more listeners. So we do appreciate that favor. There's 5 hosts. 4 of us are here today. We've got Bob jumping in, normally from Canada. He's in Tucson right now, I think.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Right on. Then we got Smeggy jumping in from Michigan. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, how's everyone doing?
Pretty good. Then we got Dana jumping in from Illinois.
Doing good, Smeggy. Thanks for asking.
And I'm down here in Arizona. We'll have Z jumping in about an hour when he's done with one of his 9-to-5 jobs, and he's out in Maui. So let's see. We're looking at digging into episode 303. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That gun of the day. The gun of the day is sacrilege when it's episode 303. No?
Yeah, it needs to be a bridge through a 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm thinking you got the message because it's starting to change right now.
Yep. So episode 303, it's Thursday, or it's Wednesday, so we'll be talking about, is it Wednesday already? Dang it.
Mistake.
We're talking about alternative self-defense tools. Then we'll be talking about the most common guns in movies, and then of course it's Wednesday, so we'll be having a tactical quiz. Every day we talk about things like a gun shop of the day, a gun of the day, a movie of the day, and things like that. So before we dig into all of our stuff, we usually take a break at the beginning of the show like this to talk about anything that happened overnight that's worth talking about.
Well, yesterday was Every Second Matters. I mean, I know we did it before our show yesterday, but just as a reminder, I think it was a really good show yesterday. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't seen it yet.
I do have something, and it's a carryover from yesterday, but it's in regards to a bill that's going before the governor of Illinois. If I'm making a call to action, and I'm going to give you a phone number here in just a moment for the Illinois governor, where they do take messages to not sign the bill that would create gun store mandatory regulations, excessive fees, and large amounts of red tape that could easily drive them out of business. So please consider it, and it does not matter whether you're in state or out of state. But please take a moment and call area code 217-782-0244. Again, 217-782-0244. Leave a message for the Illinois governor to not sign the bill that would add on gun store mandatory regulations and excessive fees.
Which, and as of right now, that just got to the House, right? Like, it only passed half of the thing. So it's not like it's on the governor's desk yet.
Right, but the House is even more Democratic leaning, more liberal leaning. So if it passed in the Senate, it's even more likely to pass in the House, barring some last-minute political favor.
And the governor is one person to talk to instead of having all the different committee members.
Yeah, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of House representatives, but there's one governor.
Although I'm sure somebody, or hopefully somebody will come up with one of those email things that'll send it out to all the appropriate committee members.
Yes, and in fact, there is a call to action at NRA-ILA for that. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out over there, NRA-ILA. call to action, and you'll see that there is a section for the Illinois governor for this bill.
Anything else?
Okay. Yeah.
So Bob, you got anything? He's got nothing. He's got nothing, honey.
Well, he's trying to come up with the gun of the day, probably. All right. Well, so let's dig into the show. So it's CCW, today's alternative self-defense tools. Anyone carry any alternative self-defense tools?
It can be simple. If you're in a shopping market, it can simply be as simple as the cart that you're wheeling down the aisle as a standoff weapon to keep the distance between you and an attacker.
You CCW a shopping cart?
Oh, you're talking about things to carry with you. Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
I think so. Well, it's in the CCW segment, so not the shopping segment, which we do have a shopping segment.
I have a shopping card.
I'm gonna say I don't know if this really, well, I guess it does count, but I mean I carry a folding knife and a little flashlight that's got the little scallops or whatever around, which I guess could be used as like a impact weapon thing. But I carry those 90% of the time, like to light stuff up and to cut things, not necessarily as self-defense, but they certainly could be used for it if I had to.
Is your flashlight longer than the width of your hand?
I don't know. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I mean that's what you want in a flashlight that's intended to be used for defense.
Oh yeah, so you could like grip it and it still sticks out like the edge of your fist a little bit. Yeah,
You
yeah,
want
it
to hit
does
them
that.
with the metal.
Like a Surefire.
Yeah, well, I mean it's all metal, so that's
Yeah, but as long as it's longer than the width of your hand, so when you go to strike with blunt force trauma, it's not just skin on skin. It's actually metal on skin.
right. Yeah, it's not long enough to be like a club. Like it's not like a Maglite or anything.
Yeah. Well,
But-
I mean, just even a half inch is something.
Right. Yeah, like if I had it in my fist and I did like a hammer fist kind of thing, it would push in
Right.
or whatever. But again, like if I guess I could use those as self-defense, but if someone was like attacking me, I don't know that like if I could get to my gun or get to those, I would choose to get to my gun first. Like those aren't the first on my list. I don't I know some people will do that, right? They like move up from like non-lethal to lethal. Like they would start with like pepper spray or flashlight or whatever, and then move to knife or gun or something that's considered like lethal defense. I don't know that I would really want to do that.
Okay, I was breaking up a bit there. All I heard was Dano asking Smeggy something about skin on skin. So I missed something. I've been having little internet issues. Hopefully it's better now.
Okay, well, Bob, do you carry any alternative self-defense things? I would think in Canada you'd have to, right? Because you can't carry a gun.
Yeah, you can't carry pepper spray or taser either. So basically carry a knife.
Do you carry any impact weapon things? Like, could you carry one of those collapsible batons or
No.
that thing Hosh was showing off? That change wallet thing? That was kind of neat.
I suppose you could
I
have.
might get one of them.
Yeah, I maybe you could have one of them. I mean, mostly it's just you carry your folding knife, which can be used for an impact weapon. But other than that, you pretty much are pooched if you live in Canada. But you're always going to a hockey game or a baseball game, so you've got a bat or a hockey stick. And
Oh, because they just hand them out to you when you walk into the stadium.
actually, you get a hockey stick when you're born. That's a Canadian tradition. Come out of the womb, and that's the first thing doctor hands you is a hockey stick.
What about a curling broom?
Those work good too, Those are really hefty handles on those curling brooms.
Are they titanium or fiberglass?
One I had was fiberglass, but The old ones were wood, but they're way bigger than a normal broom handle, because of the amount of pressure you put on them.
But anyways, I don't think you're. Well, I guess maybe in Canada you would be
We're literally,
inconspicuous carrying a hockey stick or a curling broom down the street, but
oh hell yeah,
here in the U.S. you'd kind of stand out. So that's probably not the best CCW thing.
no, but
You know,
yeah, common.
In Illinois, before we had concealed carry, I used to carry a mini. It's kind of like that flashlight where it extends about 3/4 of an inch beyond each side of your hand, made out of some sort of hard nylon or polymer sort of thing. Mini, not Cobra, not mini. What the heck was that thing called? Anyway, it was a blunt force trauma tool, and it wasn't meant for cutting. It was just literally meant for maximum blunt force trauma, and extremely effective. But obviously, it's only effective when when it's already almost too late, when somebody's on top of you at that point. So it was certainly not ideal, but it was far better than just fists.
No, that's true. Anything's better than fist, really.
And we get, and why I brought up shopping carts earlier was because sometimes the environment that you're in can lend itself to providing impromptu weapons. Whether it's a bottle left on the ground, an oil can that might have a little oil on it. I mean, who knows?
Have any of you guys ever used the tactical pen? Those things that look like a pen, but they're just kind of like a pointed, hard thing. I've never used, I've never had one. I'm just curious if you have experience with them.
I've seen them. I never bought one. I'm too cheap. and especially since I had the other tool, which was very similar. I did not, but they're certainly effective. But again, especially when you're in an environment that like going into a courthouse, something like that, where there's no carry period.
Yeah, literally, tactical pens, they're cool. They're made to be used again and again and again. However, a regular pen will also do pretty much the same job if it's like a decent one, like a metal writing pen. Because you're not trying to go through a 3/4 inch board. You're going into somebody's eyeball or earball, or not earball, but ear. So, yeah. Regular pen will work just as well for that kind of desperate situation.
Well, I wouldn't want to get hit in the side of the neck.
No, exactly. Yeah. With anything, a pen or a pencil or anything, yeah. So,
what about those things on the keychain? There's a couple different ones I've seen. I've seen the ones where it's like a ball bearing and it's wrapped in like paracord or something, and it just kind of hangs.
Monkey's fist?
Yeah, monkey's fist.
What that's called?
Yeah.
And that's where it goes into check your local laws, which we probably should have stated beforehand. In some areas, those are called out by name as illegal.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is if you've got these people today that have these cords so they can hang their keys around their neck and shit like that. Well, if you've got that and a whole whack of keys on the end, you've got a pretty good flail. But there's also those things that look like Batman. You can slip over 2 knuckles. They're made out of hard plastic, so they're not.
Yeah, I've seen one as like I don't know if it's not Hello Kitty, but it looks like a little cat or whatever, and the ears are pretty sharp. My buddy's girlfriend has one of those on her keys.
Well, why not?
When I've seen those, I've often thought that the bones in your fingers are not really all that strong for a force applied at a axial force. That you could very well break your fingers.
You're clenching that into a fist, so there's no pressure on your fingers. It's on your fist because the bottom part of it fits into the palm of your hand. So it's more like it's just giving you something protection on your two knuckles, as well as
So the ones that do brace against the meat of your thumb, that type.
Yeah, I guess your thumb. I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Whether you call it your palm or the meat of your thumb, but using that as the force to push or
Right.
to strike.
Yeah.
And in reality, I mean, if you're using the thing, it's because you're under attack. So a broken finger is better than like getting killed or whatever.
Yeah. Well, a broken finger means you might also only be able to use it once, effectively.
Man, you'll probably have enough adrenaline to keep hitting. I mean, just like if you used your regular fist, when fist hits hard stuff, you break knuckles. You know, you hit someone on the side of the head, you can very easily break your knuckle.
Oh hell yeah! I've broken my hand doing shit like a dozen
Which is why normally you don't punch with your knuckles. You punch with your palm.
Yes, Star Trek.
Unless you don't mind broken knuckles.
Yeah, they're just part of the game.
But they're only going to be effective a couple of times. Where with your palm you can hit them any number of times.
If the adrenaline's running, Dano, you can hit them until there's nothing left of your fist except mush.
Yeah. So the tactical mush is supplied by Bob.
So there's definitely a lot of options out there. Like I said, I don't necessarily really get into that, and I have heard the philosophy of it's good to have like non-lethal options and then lethal options, and you kind of step your way up or whatever, and that helps you legally speaking. I don't know if I fully understand that concept.
Now I noticed nobody mentioned any sort of spray.
Well,
like
I mean,
pepper spray.
I mean, that's the thing is right now in Canada, there is a push to get pepper spray made legal for because of the problem with there's been a lot of rapes going on in the bigger cities. There's different cultures coming in and they have different ideas. So there is a big push now to allow people to carry pepper spray as well as tasers to see, because right now we don't have any of that. And I think it's just ludicrous that women aren't allowed to carry something like that to protect themselves. But, it's...
Or sexy men,
Oh, yeah.
That's a problem, too.
Well, yeah.
Let me change the subject ever so slightly as far as the attacker that may not necessarily be looking to kill you, but let's say it's more of a riot situation, an Antifa group, and you're being attacked in that mode where the motives aren't necessarily clear.
Well, that's where you want the bear spray, because it's a much bigger can.
Yeah, and that's something like in Michigan, you can have pepper spray, but it has to be like a certain concentration. Like you can't have the super strong stuff.
It is in California too, but the Antifa protesters had bear spray. Go figure that. And the Trump speakers and the people supporting Trump were told by the police, "Don't worry, we'll protect you," and told to disarm, or they couldn't go to their speeches that they were going to. So they were disarmed. Antifa just waited outside until the cops went away and hid. And they had bear spray, which is illegal in California, I thought. I mean, that's one thing that at least is legal in Canada, but I mean, if you use it, you're in big shit.
So I guess that's something we kind of talk about is when would you use like a non-lethal versus a lethal? Like if someone's just kind of bugging you at a bar or something, you might use like a non-lethal thing because he's probably not going to kill you or what. I mean, I don't know where you draw that line. I try not to get in fights no matter what. But if I am in a fight, I assume that it's going the distance. You don't know when the guy's going to stop.
What do you mean by bugging? Like just verbal? Verbal, no.
Like for Smeggy, that means somebody's hanging out with his own girlfriend and she doesn't leave him for Smeggy, then he gets all mad.
Yeah, so I just walk up and pepper spray the guy,
Right. That's justification.
And then I say, look, do you really want to be with some dude who's crying? Come on. Get with a real man. Yeah, something like that. But I mean, that's
Yep.
a legitimate question. I don't know when when
That only-
do you use that versus something else? Because like I said, when I'm in a fight, which I don't get into fights because I take responsibility seriously, but if I were in a fight, I assume that every fight is the other guy's not going to stop. Like, if I get knocked out, who knows if he's going to start curb stomping me or something? I could end up dead. So every fight is a serious thing. So
See, that's totally different. We used to fight when I was 18, 19, when we went to the bar. We would fight as kind of an entertainment thing. And nobody would ever, once the other guy was down, the fight was over.
Are you suggesting there were no murders in Canada? Only people who knew each other would pal around with each other in Canada?
Well, no, it was just that, like I said,
we're not talking about buddies wrestling
smaller
with each other.
towns.
We're not talking about buddies wrestling with each other. We're talking about altercation.
I'm talking, like fist fights in a bar over bullshit, but it never went that far back in my day, or at least.
That's wrong, Bob. You're suggesting there weren't murders in bars because something in Canada back in the day. That's not the case. You just didn't encounter one where it escalated to that because it was a bunch of friends wrestling with each other. But we're talking
that's
about.
We weren't wrestling. There was teeth knocked out and shit like that, but never. I don't know. Just never escalated back when I was younger. You never even heard about it.
But there is a difference, and I think this might be, it's hard to tell, but might be what Bob is touching upon. If you think back to when you were kids and fighting, there is a difference in fighting and the intensity and the seriousness as one gets older, from a child to a teen to a young adult to a fully mature adult, and what a fight will or won't entail.
I guess, it's a good point, and I think where I'm coming from is that just it's hard for me to even imagine somebody, taking it that far over an altercation in a bar. I guess it happens. I know it happens. I mean, I hear about it in the news and stuff, but it's, I don't know, weird concept.
I mean, biker bars and shootings and deaths are not an uncommon occurrence not too far from where I live. And I'm sure they occur in Canada. They may use different tools, but it still occurs.
Yeah, but it's not common. It, it's like once every couple of months, maybe. But usually that's because there's bad blood between the people.
If there's a death in a bar fight, that's pretty common. Pretty often.
And you also have to make it proportional to the size of the United States versus the size of Canada.
That's true.
That every couple of months, somebody dies in a bar fight in Canada. It's just that one little town in Canada. There's like dozens of those little towns. So that's hundreds of people that are dying.
Yeah, well, I guess if you look at it that way.
But either way, I guess my question's still kind of out there, though. Where do you draw the line of if you use some type of less than lethal first and then go to a lethal defense?
If I believe my life is in mortal danger or about to be in mortal danger.
Right. Yeah, if
and
I'm just
I
trying
can
to stop
justify it
somebody.
in words to someone else. He did something in conjunction with words he said. Something like that.
For me, when I carry stuff, I don't think about so much what could have happened anymore because I'm pretty old. I think about what I've encountered and what I'm likely to encounter. So for me, the alternate, I'm assuming we're meaning non-lethal, are for critters more than anything else. And then, so for me, it's, flashlights and whistles work fine. And then some sort of like a collapsible stick, I think is a pretty handy one for dogs. And then I'm not such a fan of the pepper spray just because for me, it hasn't been all that precise or precise enough to be useful. Although I'd probably keep it in a vehicle for some sort of theoretical situation.
Now, I have spray, although I've never used an animal, but I have used spray, like as an example, on wasp and stuff, and up to like 30 feet, that stuff is pretty darn accurate.
That's fucked up. You pepper spray wasps?
No, not with pepper spray, but with, spray meant for wasps. I mean, but it's still an aerosol propellant. And if they can be that accurate, from 30 feet by shooting just a single jet out, I'm sure I see no reason why the bear spray would not be.
Oh, yeah, bear spray is
different.
incredibly effective. But the problem with bear spray is any of that stuff, because it's gases, it's going to come back on you, especially if you end up having to spray it into the wind, which you might have to in certain situations. And you're going to get that stuff coming back at you, and it's not pleasant.
Excuse me, murderer. Can you sidestep to your left a little bit so you're downwind of me? Thanks.
The idea is to gain space between you and that person. So the moment you're spraying, you're also trying to get away.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. But sometimes, they're running towards you, and, well, especially bears, they're running towards you. That bear spray does not stop them instantly. It's not like a slug. It might discourage them, but...
Well, I was referring back to people again.
Yeah, Bob's all over the place. But I think for Dano's point is that's what going to be like Batman, carry a bunch of options for depending on your situation, when the more likely situations none of us will ever run into any of these situations. We live in a pretty safe country. So that's my thing with pepper spray. I don't know if you've never carried it, then you've never experienced it exploding on you or leaking in your pocket or your bag. So I have dealt with that, and that's why I quit carrying it. But the other thing, as far as you can't compare it to wasp spray. Wasp spray is specifically designed for you to stand way the hell away from wasps, and then to be able to spray their nest or whatever in like some hole or up in a tree. So that's a totally different type of container and propellant. I recommend buying a thing of pepper spray. They're not that much, and going out into the woods or something, and then using it, seeing it, spraying it. I would definitely do it outside. But you have some experience with it. They do make the water versions, so if you really want, you can, in your store sells them. You might try a police supply store where they sell uniforms and stuff. Sometimes they'll sell, like, they'll have the water ones, or at least the water refills, like on just in stock, because the cops probably use them more than anybody. But I say just buy 2 of whatever you're going to buy, or better yet, have one. Most everybody has something in a drawer somewhere. Go replace it, buy something new, and then there's $10, whatever, $20 for those things, and then go spray off your old one to see how it does. You'll get feedback on how much propellant was in it still after all that time you've had it, and some idea of how effective the range is. And if it was a dud, if it lost all its energy or whatever, then just squirt the one you bought and go buy another one. They're not irreplaceable, and I think it's just like shooting practice. Are you gonna have never shot a new gun and then, I'll use this when I need it for my life, to save my life?
I think you touched on one thing that's very critical, is they all have expiration dates.
I like to think I touched on a lot of critical things.
Well, one thing in particular that I normally don't hear people ever talk about in regards to sprays, and that's that they do expire for various reasons.
Yeah, mostly I think because of the juice, like the power of the can, the pressure, more than anything else, because they know they're going to get, some of that's going to leak out. I'm pretty sure the chili stays chili in there. All right, well, I'm just going to throw out whistles before we go on to the next thing. I really think whistles are underrated. They don't weigh nothing. Come on, man. You cut me off when I'm talking about something legitimate, and then you're going to bitch for a week. Don't cut me off.
Excuse me?
You cut me off when I'm in the middle of saying something legitimate, and then you'll complain for a week that I complained that you cut me off.
Okay, so your point is?
That whistles are underrated, that they don't cost nothing, they don't weigh nothing, you don't need to get one with the P in it. You can get the aluminum ones that don't need any movable parts, and you can be a grown-ass man in a parking lot and have something weird going on and just start blowing a whistle. Everybody's going to think you're weird and they're going to walk away. It's going to de-escalate potentially. If you're trying to scare away a critter, it works. It works with all languages. You can throw it to a lady or something. If something goes down, you can throw it to somebody to wave down, help, or other people. If there's something going down in a parking lot and they've got you in a position to their advantage where you're isolated from everybody else, you start blowing a loud whistle. And these aluminum whistles you get at the dollar store, they're no bigger than anyway, they're about the size of a key or something, right? Like half a crayon. So you start blowing those things, are incredibly loud. They don't sound like a car
alarm or anything, people are going to look, and that can turn a situation that they've created, an ambush for you, into let's get the hell out of here before everybody figures out what this guy's doing. And that can de-escalate it, and you've done nothing but carry around a whistle. And at the worst case, you can always say sorry from that. I always say a flashlight's a good one too. You can always light somebody up in a parking lot, and if it turns out they're just, a guy and a girl necking in the corner and you thought they were somebody lurking, you can always say sorry or something. But with whistle, same thing. You can go, oh, sorry, I didn't realize you had nothing to do with what I was doing here. You're just a weird guy blowing a whistle.
Is this like sensitivity week?
See, now I'm going to hear it for a week because I wanted to put that point out I thought it was an important point for that subject. But no, go ahead, Daniel. Over.
Well, no, that's okay. I thought anytime meant anytime, but apparently I was wrong.
Again, I'm going to hear this for a week now. So great. Yeah, every single time you've done it, you've cut me off twice in the middle of saying something. So normally, if we're talking about windbreakers, sure, cut us off. What the hell? We got to do this on air? Go ahead. Do the damn quiz.
No. Let's move on.
I don't even see the
No
answer
quiz
in there.
for anybody. No quiz for anybody today. So that's how it works. You're all being punished. Thanks, Daniel.
Oh my.
So I guess we're going on to the next segment of the show. Entertainment segment, most common guns in movies.
Well, do we have a break between the first and second segment? Going to feature somebody?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Oh, there's no one written in there. Okay, well
Apparently
then,
not today.
in that case, I'm going to feature Moon Food. Moon Food 78, also known as Autoloader on Instagram. He's in the lobby chats quite often, killing it on Instagram. Heck of a good dude, and I like him. And he's out there in the chat, so he'll be the featured person today. What do you guys think about Moon Food?
One of the consistently active members of Gun Channel since the beginning. So yeah, definitely one of the people we built the place for. He uses live chats as well as the text, participates in both all the time, and he does the pictures and stuff, so it helps promote the thing on other platforms. So yeah, definitely great member.
Yeah, I really like his Instagram. He does a good job. Like, I don't know how he does it. It's like he puts a gun on a table and puts a patch next to it, takes a picture of it. It looks awesome. I do the same thing, and mine looks like crap. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So, I don't know. He's got some magic.
Probably got something to do with half your thumb obscuring the picture, but that's okay.
I think it's more lighting than anything else because my thumb's not in it. But
No, I like Moon Food. He's a great guy to talk to. He's been in some of the chats with us live, and yeah, enjoy his company in the chats for sure.
Yep, he's a good guy, and glad to have him as part of Gun Channels, and a great asset. I know he's helped me with a number of little things along the line, and does a great, has natural talent with Instagram.
All right, so then that'll take us into the entertainment segment. Most common guns in movies. Feels weird to be doing this without Z here.
yeah, it's
Peacemaker.
What? Oh, if you're counting all the westerns, I guess.
Well, yeah, they're movies.
I'd say J-Frame, 1911, and Peacemaker. I agree. Maybe Winchester, 1907, whatever, 94 or something, 1894.
And not the Glock in that bunch.
I don't know. Of all time,
Well, for Westerns, for sure, the list you gave is a good list for Westerns.
I just don't know. I mean, think about how many movies existed through all the time up until Glocks only came out in 80 something. So, since the 90s or so, they've been in movies. There's been movies.
Lugers. I mean, Lugers were iconic. The bad guys had a Luger.
True. And those,
I was gonna say like AK, but then when you bring up that point of all time, then yeah, we never really saw them in movies until like the 80s ish. But then there was always the bad guy gun, because we were fighting commies.
True. And I'll bet you every country uses it as the bad guy's gun.
So, I mean, it's probably out there quite a bit. And I would think some of the like the U.S. World War II guns, right? Like the M1 carbine and stuff like that. Like that's probably been in a lot of movies. There's been a lot of war movies.
It's been a lot of war movies, but not too often in other movies. The Thompson. There you go. There's one that was in lots of movies. I don't know. I mean, you think about it. It's also relevant to the time period, right? In so many cases. I mean, there's the iconic ones that are in all, like, just in movies in general. But
You think that IMDb, do you think that they have their database sortable so you can see which gun is in the IMDb most often?
Oh, that would be cool. I don't know.
On the back end, they certainly do. I just don't know if they make that public anywhere. I don't know if Wikipedia does something like that. Or like if you click on whatever gun, 1911 Glock 19 or something, or 870 shotgun or Smith & Wesson J-frame, will it bring up? Oh, it probably will bring up a list of all the movies it's in. You could probably take not too much time to just keep opening up a bunch of tabs with the different guns over on IMDb and compare the number of movies that they're in, and that would probably give you an actual rating of which one is the most common, which one's in the most movies.
Yeah, I'm heading over there right now on my phone, just trying to play around here, seeing if I sort it by gun, if there's like a list or something. That doesn't seem like they have top whatevers. So yeah, you're right. You'd have to like open them all up. Let's see, AK-47. It doesn't have just like a number. I have to scroll down through all this stuff.
What are the guns we have so far? I'm going to jot them down here.
The Peacemaker.
1911. Winchester.
Peacemaker, 1911.
Winchester lever action. J-frame. Smith & Wesson, right? Because you always see the bad guy with that little revolver.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing is you always see there's the generic Smith & Wesson revolver, that the bad guy has. It's usually got a, 6-inch barrel, basically a Model 10, I think.
Yeah, it's always a lot of Model 10s. I was going to bring that one up. Except for the J-frame, that was like the other revolver, right?
Okay, so we have Peacemaker, 1911, Winchester lever action, J-frame, and Smith & Wesson Model 10.
Yeah, the Luger.
Luger.
I think either like the M1 Garand or the M1 Carbine would be in that list also, in my opinion.
Well, I'll just put Garand because I hate this, even though it's technically not the same thing, but it's very iconic. We can just say, Garand, and people kind of know what you're talking about.
That Mauser bolt action rifle was in every movie from wartime. 98.
Car 98?
Yeah, well, basically, Car 98, Mauser bolt action rifle.
Oh, the K98. Okay, gotcha.
KAR, yeah.
Okay. Mauser K98. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got
Wow.
8.
See, Z's ears must have been ringing. No, we were talking about movies. Jumps in a little early.
So,
Oh yeah.
so far I got Peacemaker 1911, Winchester lever action, J-frame, Smith & Wesson Model 10, Luger, Garand, and Mazda K98. So the question is what?
Thompson, the Thompson. Because every gangster movie made from the 1920s on had a Thompson in it.
Right?
Well, then, yeah, AK-47's got to be on that list then, too.
There's
Yeah.
more gangster movies than whatever AK-47 movies would be. No?
Well, every bad guy had an AK or of some form or another.
Because
Like-
I'm thinking even when they make movies like nowadays and they do something back to like, Vietnam or whatever, then you'll have a bunch of AKs in them.
So we've added on the Thompson and the AK onto the list.
Yeah, someone out in the chat saying Derringer. I
So the
mean,
last
I've
30
seen
years-
Derringers in movies, but I don't know if they've been in a lot of movies.
They usually find them like as either the gambler's gun or the girl's gun, kind of a thing. In movies,
Right, but
anyway.
they pretty much would like only be in westerns, and they're probably only in like a fifth of the westerns or something. Like there are plenty of westerns that don't even have any of them in there. So I don't know.
I was distracted. I only heard Dano talk about gambling addicts and prostitutes. Were you guys talking about 9mm?
Hey,
The Beretta?
well, that
Yeah,
would be
I
our
think the
first
Beretta-
modern.
If you watch any of the Chinese movies or any of those Hong Kong movies, that Beretta is featured in a lot of them.
You're referring to the 92?
Yes.
Okay, so we added Beretta 92. Yeah, that's the newest of the gun that's on the list.
M16 is on there, right?
No, it's not.
Why not?
None of us thought of that one.
Okay, so what? AR, Armalite. Let me go ahead and read the list from
See what it's like
from
when you're
beginning
in
to end.
He was
One
like
more.
in Illinois. He hears M16, but he writes down AR-15. That's what happens when he
Right,
Right.
I meant M16, but whatever.
Well, I put AR for Armalite.
You know, the one thing though we probably are missing is that iconic double barrel sawed off shotgun, and they're just generic, right? Because
The Coach gun.
No, they're Colts. They're to signify Colts. They're to signify Colts.
I mean, signify Colts. Colt did make some
Colt
double barrel
made-
shotguns, I think.
Colt made double barrel shotguns, and they would have been what the guys would have sawed off back in the cowboy days because they would have been old by then.
Yeah, the Colt's Coach gun.
Like
These
they're
are the ones I have so far.
gun and saw it up. I don't think so.
They use greeners. They use the greener 10 gauge or 12 gauge. That was the common Coach gun, not Colt.
Okay, this is what I have so far. I got Peacemaker, 1911.
He was back. He was alive back then.
Peacemaker, 1911, Winchester lever action, J-frame, Smith & Wesson Model 10, Luger, Garand, Mauser K98, Thompson, AK, AR, Beretta 92, and Colt Coach gun.
All right. We solved movies. Just buy one of those and you can make every movie on Earth.
Just do sawed off shotgun, Dano, not Coach gun. That makes it too specific.
Oh, Jesus. It's like it's going into Wikipedia or something. Who cares what he writes? We all know what he means.
Yeah.
I feel like
No,
there's
we don't.
with all of those guns.
You feel
Is
like
there
what?
a movie that has all those guns in there? Is that what you said?
There should be a movie made with all those guns. Yes.
All right. So all of our listeners, go on to Patreon. Give us a bunch of money. We'll buy all those guns and we will make a movie. The Daily Gun Show, the movie.
Yeah, we probably have most of those guns, so yeah, we'll just do that movie.
It'll be the Daily Gun Show, the Collection Series.
I like my title better, but whatever.
It wouldn't be that hard to write
That's
a movie.
because it was a better title.
I mean, if you just think about it, right? Let's write a movie that utilizes all these guns in it. That wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
Western
because everybody
gangster
here is
Vietnam
a
World War II
qualified
movie.
Screenplayer. Yeah. Everybody here is a qualified screenplay writer. You're correct, Bob.
This screenplay takes 7 words to write. A guy walks into a gun shop.
Well, that's no fun. I like the idea of cowboys get transported in time, and one of the things they go and they have to fight World War II and beat up the Nazis, and then they get transported in time again and they go to Vietnam and beat up the Viet Cong. And it'd be like a time-traveling hero buddy cop type movie.
But with cowboys, I like it, Smeggy.
Yeah, see, I'm a genius. And maybe
We
throw
gotta-
in maybe you got to take like a detective from back in the day, right? Because we have the little snubby that all the detectives carried. So a detective from back in the day gets sent back in time to the cowboys to get them, and then brings them forward so they can win World War II and then win Vietnam.
Oh, it's perfect. And time travel's hot right now, so hey, we could shop that around Hollywood. I'll bet somebody would produce it.
I'll take that bet. How much you want to bet, Bob?
I don't think we need Hollywood. Screw them. We'll make it ourselves. Gun Channels Productions. I'm starting it. I'm in.
Crowdfund it. We can do it.
Yep, I'm in. I'll start writing tonight. Daily Gun Show, the movie.
I'll play the cowboy who gets killed first, because that way I don't have to be in the movie.
Falling on the sword. I like that.
Well, and not only that, but then I can get to go to all a rap party and everything, and free lunch every day because I'll hang around.
No, do you realize what we just heard? We heard I only want to work one day and die right away. I want free lunch, and I want to go to the rap party. So, like, he really doesn't care about the movie at all. He wants the free booze and free food, and to sit around.
Here's the thing.
Realize
That is
it, right?
that is probably better for us, because that way we can film him in the very first day, and then we don't have to worry about like the movie not being made if something happens to him. So that's probably a good strategy.
And I can just hang around with the starlets we're gonna hire.
See, that would just be like he does on the show anyway. Sits around
Pretty much.
drinking, eating, talking about chicks. But anyway, so is that the most common guns in movies?
Well,
Nobody
that's what
mentioned
we
like the
thought.
Deagle or the Uzi or the Mac-10 or the Tech-9. Nobody mentioned any of those.
No,
And if you live through the
okay.
80s, if you live through the 80s, those were all in just about every movie.
Yeah,
It was
the other
good.
guns we talked about are in every movie.
When I mentioned
Better
Glock, whether you like it or not, it's a very popular gun that nobody else liked
No,
it. So
because it's a stupid gun.
it's about
No, but that doesn't mean it's not in movies. It is a very
Exactly.
common gun in movies. You're right,
I
Daniel.
mean, because but this is a list decided by the host.
And cool villains don't use Glocks. I'm sorry.
Well, I remember a couple of cool movies that the bad guys used Glocks.
I remember movies where good guys use Glocks as well.
So we got Peacemaker, 1911, Winchester lever action, J-frame, Smith & Wesson Model 10, Luger, Garand, K98, Thompson, AK, Beretta 92, AR, and the Colt Coach gun. Anything else we should add, or should I just put a period at the end of the last one?
What about the 4 guns that I just named, or is my microphone not working right now?
Well, like I said, when I mentioned Glock, nobody never seconded it, so I didn't put it on the list. So which are the 4 that you mentioned again?
When we started out the list, it was the top guns in all time and entertainment in all time. And the idea was that since Glocks have only been in movies since the 80s or something, how many
Oh,
can they possibly be of all time? So that's why I think Bob,
because when I read the show notes, it just says most common guns in movies, so I didn't know that part. My bad.
well, it started like that. That's why it got like that. So that's why we started out with like World War II and cowboy movies.
Then we don't need to add any of those, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, but see, Z, like all the stuff you mentioned, that was kind of the stuff I was thinking at first, and then yeah, when I
Yeah.
realized, oh, there are a crap ton of like cowboy movies and like war movies and stuff. Those just kind of outweigh all the others. But I think of those as iconic ones, like the Uzi. Everyone knows what the Uzi looks like because of TV and movies. Like not many people have shot the thing; they just know what it is.
I see
Well,
how it
do we
is around here, Smaggy. This is pretty much just like Animal Farm here. Some people's opinions are just more equal than others, I guess.
Well,
do
us
we
young
wanna
guys
add-
get outvoted. That's the problem.
do we
Yep.
want to add Uzi merely as representative of a category of machine pistols? When we say Uzi, we really mean machine
Then we go to the
Then we
MP40.
just say- Then we just say pistol, revolver, lever action, shotgun, machine gun, done. Can't say. Can't
Yeah.
be vague.
Hey Z, what character do you want to be?
Yeah, the Mauser broom handle's been in a lot of movies, so that could just be the submachine gun one.
Ghost of Christmas Past.
I didn't know he was in that, but okay, I'll put it in there.
Or the Ghost of Christmas Future, maybe. That might be even better.
Christmas Future. Okay.
Well, before we derail too much, I think I'm going to put a period at the end of Coach Gun.
So are we getting any suggestions from the,
Walther P38, Spaz 12. What else did they say out there? Nice Uzi.
Socialist.
Yeah.
James Bond gun, the PPK.
Desert Eagle? James Bond gun might be, but it's really only in James Bond movies, eh?
Daewoo 92.
Lots of bad guys use those little Walthers.
Colt Single Action Army.
It kind of goes with PPK.
I'm just reading the listeners' suggestions.
All right. Well, I can't wait to write this movie. It'll be fun.
All right, well, I guess we can put a period on, as Dan was saying. We've figured out the most common guns in movies. You experienced it. You're welcome. So we'll move on to something else. Does anybody have a gun shop today? Well,
Nope.
think about that, and we'll come up with a gun shop. If somebody out in the audience has a gun shop we can feature, we do like to feature a gun shop every day, but we don't have one in the schedule here. So then we'll talk about gear websites, and I think I will link over, or I'll screen share here, and that's our store. So we have a bunch of stuff over there, mostly patches and some dog tags and a couple other things, but mostly patches. They're either identification type of thing with calibers. We have stuff for the gun channels community. We have it for the Every Second Matters project. Like Smeggy said, it was a pretty good show last night, so if you enjoyed the show, consider grabbing a couple of patches and giving them out to people, leaving one at your gun shop or something. The show costs, or the website costs some money every month, and the patches offset that cost, so we appreciate that. You can get them at the Gear website store. And then we have some other stuff, so feel free to explore the store. We just posted a link on the comments on both YouTube and Gun Channel side for a coupon code that'll get you $5 off any order of $25 or more. So what is that, 20% off coupon? Hopefully that's an incentive to get people over, buy some patches as gifts. They really do support our efforts over here. And the coupon code is DGS for Daily Gun Show. Should be easy to remember, and we'll let that run until we go bankrupt or we run out of patches. So thanks for being listeners to the show, and hopefully that's something that we can offer to the people listening to us later who don't get a chance to participate in the pop quizzes and the tactical quizzes.
All kinds of gun shops coming up out there. Enrique Sonora said Frontier Gun Shop in Tucson.
Okay,
Buzz Bombs Gaming and Guns said Blackstone Shooting Sports in North Carolina. I believe Raphael said Shooting Sports of Tampa, and gave a link.
all right, well, we're going to archive some of those, but we'll go with Frontier Shop, since Frontier Gun Shop, since Bob and I have both been there. I'm sure Enrique's also been there. So Bob, do you remember that one? It's the little guy up on Grant Road.
Yep. Yeah, that was a mom and pop shop, right?
Yep, very small shop, just really the one guy, but excellent shop. One of my favorites for just going in and snooping around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like going to a museum almost, right?
Seriously, except you can buy stuff. Probably he doesn't always sell everything, but most of the stuff's for sale.
Yeah, he had that.
Picnic table and a pot of coffee, or too small for all that?
It's the kind of store that we've showed it before with pictures. It's packed from floor to ceiling. You open the door, there's barely enough room for the door to actually open. It's just nothing but. So no room.
I like those because you never know what hidden little thing is put in front of something else or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure that happens all the time. And it's definitely the kind of shop where he'll move something and then something else can be seen from underneath, and it's awesome. So yeah, you could. There's a little stool, I think, for the old guys that hang out there. They can like lean on that or sit on it a little bit. But no coffee or nothing. He'd probably get mad if you brought coffee in there because it would definitely spill on something important. There's just too much stuff in there.
He's got that much stuff. Nice. I like that.
Well, I don't know how he stays in business. He's on a busy road. Maybe he's owned it forever, so maybe it doesn't cost him much to be there. But I don't know. I can't tell. I don't go up there enough to know if things move. But definitely an interesting shop. One of the kind of shops that you'll never see online. Charles Heller does a radio commercial for him every once in a while. But otherwise, he doesn't do too much advertising. I think he just depends on people driving past the sort of busy road that he's on. And then we have only 16 gun shops in Tucson, so it's pretty easy to keep track of all of them and to know what flavor they all are. So I'm sure he gets plenty of repeat business from people that are in the market.
You say 16 like that's a small number. To me, 16 is a huge number.
Yeah, I'll bet though that he's got a lot of people that, that say, hey, I'm looking for this. If you see one, let me know. And he just has to, sit there and, oh, this gun came in, phone the guy, and we make some money that way, right? Because he's got so much stuff, right? And really unusual guns.
But does he like you to sit there and talk story with him? Can you get a story out of him, or is he of the mindset of like, hey man, you here to buy something? Or
he likes his friends out and talk to him.
Okay, I understand that.
When we were in there, he was really friendly. He was sitting there. He had one friend obviously sitting there chatting with him, and yeah, they were, he was, I guess, in a good mood, and he was quite chatty. And
well, it's not like he's running you out of there. It's just that if he
but you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you can engage, and all of a sudden it's going to be, all of a sudden you look up and it's 20 minutes later, and it's been an awesome story. That's what I mean.
And he's not the kind where he catches your ear and then you're there for an hour because he's talking your ear off. It's not like that. But if he doesn't care if he's bullshitting with somebody and you're in there, he doesn't run you out. So if you want to overhear the conversation, that's
nice. Fine. That's cool.
But he doesn't. If you're in there just to look, which I'm usually just in there to look, he'll let me look. He doesn't rush me out. He doesn't, keep me around. And he's almost always pleasant. It's just that I just don't see him having much interest in getting out there, and he's just there to hang out. It's a place for him to hang out.
And that's Frontier Gun Shop in Tucson, right? Frontier Gun Shop.
Yep, like the old Frontier. So we did get some other suggestions. Thanks for that. We put them into the schedule for the rest of the week. And we want to encourage anybody that wants to help keep the show going, give us some ideas for gun shops, museums, and even shooting ranges or gun shows or something that you've been to that were interesting or worth mentioning. And ideally, you take some pictures of that and post it on whatever social media platform you're comfortable with or you use the most, and then send us a link. Or if you can't deal with all that, just send us some pictures. People have done that, and we're happy to share them. The goal here is to do a show every single day, and one of the big goals of the show is to have a different gun show featured every single day. There's definitely more than 200 gun shops out there. Let's talk about them all before there are only 200 left.
No kidding.
All right.
And if that thing in
Everybody
Illinois
ready?
passes, we'll won't have any gun shops in Illinois to talk about. So let's
we
get
don't
on
need
that
that.
as well.
Just gun shops that sell more than 9 guns.
They're just going to disarm all of Illinois anyway.
Okay. Sooner or later, we can only hope.
in Canada,
It's for real. It's actually coming. It's time for the tactical pop quiz of the day. Now, I can't remember. Smeggy, were you my assistant yesterday, or was it somebody else?
I think we all help. Hey, there's a question in here now. Cool.
It wasn't
I see
memorable.
the answer.
It wasn't
All
memorable.
right. I think you chastised somebody yesterday, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so that means it was probably Smeggy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know who it was yesterday.
We always
Awesome.
all help. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking at both of them. I saw the
All right,
answer. We're all
have
good
you
to go.
seen the answer?
Alzheimer's is a bitch, eh?
Yep, it is what it is. All right, so those of you over on YouTube and those of you over on Gun Channels, put your cursors down in the box, limber up your fingers, and the question is as follows, and I shall read it twice. Taurus was formed in what year? Taurus was formed in what year?
Like a domestic tourist?
Like when they figured out what the constellation was.
Oh, well then I'm gonna go with like 5 million years ago is my guess.
Is this like the
5
astronomy
million.
show?
42.
It was
42.
42 is incorrect.
2,000 years ago.
1947 is incorrect. 1983 is incorrect. 1978 is incorrect. And this is according to the number that we have again, gentlemen. So 1972 is incorrect. 1935 is incorrect. Again, according to the number we have, 1941 is incorrect. 1968 is incorrect.
And I will even cite the source. This is from Taurus's website.
85,
1978.
85 is incorrect. 46 is incorrect. 78 is incorrect. 39 is incorrect. Incorrect. Will you quit saying 1941? Thank you. 72 is incorrect.
Ah, who's crackling?
That's probably me. I'm trying to charge. 39. Incorrect.
Taurus.
You guys are all wrong. What's going on here?
Taurus. TAURUS.com has the answer.
68. No, you're all too.
Incorrect.
You're all too early. 73 is too early.
You know, there's this crazy thing on the internet called an about page.
You know what? I'll just say when they actually have it, as opposed to keep saying that they
Yeah.
don't have it.
Okay.
Oh, nice. The Ford Taurus debuted in 1985. Excellent job.
That's funny.
Excellent job.
There we go. Mel Smith
Winner.
on the YouTube side.
Excellent job, Mel.
Mel, congratulations. You are today's Tactical Pop Quiz winner. You know, I'm sure know where to go, but just in case, head on over to dailygunshow.com/pop quiz. Fill out the form, put your first and second choice, and congratulations. You are today's Tactical Pop Quiz winner.
Excellent. You know what, Mel? Welcome to the winner's circle. This is what it feels like to be a champion. You are the Tactical Pop Quiz hot shot for today. So good job.
Was hard fought, so I'll give them double thumbs up for that.
And 1982 was the correct answer.
Exactly.
Gun Channels was right behind him, but Mel was definitely first.
Yeah, there was a lot of wrong answers before there was one right answer over on Gun Channels.
I was actually kind of surprised because it's right there on the about page of Taurus's website.
Well,
Yes, and you
nobody
can tell
went there.
Channel.
Well, I figured, you know, Matt would know. Never Enough Ammo.
Is he out there?
No, but that's another story.
Oh, well then why would he even know that it was the question?
Because he has many faithful followers.
Uh-huh. All right, that's what I'm talking about.
We
Get
got the
those
music.
micro Uzis together. Better call Lee Marvin.
Smecky, have you seen the answers?
No.
No, there's never any answers there. Like ever.
All right, so we're going to do today, that is the sound for the tactical quiz. It happens every Wednesday, and it's happening right now. So put your pencils down. That's 90% of your test for, or percent of your grade for this week. So we're going to do a visual tactical quiz, and you're going to need people to be checking the comments because this will be tough. There'll be people that know these, and there'll be people that don't know these. And we have a bunch of them. So we're going to be looking through, and you're going to need to do two things. You're going to need to answer these with two complete and correct parts: the name of the gun, the model number, right, and the caliber. So the model number of the gun and the caliber of the gun. Is everybody ready? You guys ready?
No.
You're not ready.
The questions nor the answers.
Model and caliber.
Yeah, I'm assuming y'all know. So boom.
Oh, well, then you assume makes an ass of you and me, my brother. Like starting with the first one.
You don't know what that is?
I have a very small screen.
I see the roll mark.
Roll
I
pin.
don't. I got sun coming in the window. Yeah, I have no idea.
Takedown lever. That paddle.
Glock 42 380. I'm gonna say no on that one.
No. Everybody's
I'm
just,
gonna go with the one guy that said no idea.
we're not even getting answers.
Walther 9mm.
Model number.
P99 9mm.
It's a Walther something.
Model
Well,
number. and caliber.
P99 9mm. We
Yeah,
didn't get a
that's
yes
all
or
I
a no
have to
on that.
No, it's not a P99 9mm.
Thank you.
PPT is incorrect. PPQ is incorrect.
What did you say is incorrect, Anna?
PPT and PPQ.
Correct. Well, correct. They are both incorrect.
Okay.
It's not an XD. It's not a P99.
Oh, come on. Look how square it is. Look how stupid looking it is.
Oh, Chris says PPS 9mm.
There we go. That's the winner. So somebody's keeping track of the winners here?
Not
Uh,
really, but
I
okay.
can in a moment. Where'd my keyboard go?
The entire tactical quiz and the music.
No,
Okay.
Colt 97Z has an interesting concept out there.
Well,
And I think that's a shame. Is it a FN57? Too bad that doesn't have a caliber with it. Again, doesn't have a caliber with it, gentlemen.
I didn't realize tactical quiz was this hard for everybody.
I think following directions is hard for everybody.
I think Pink Panther won this one for a reason.
Did he win it? All right.
Well, he said 57. I think he means 57, but whatever.
Okay, next.
Huh.
Screen broken? When people are they know they're watching a gun podcast, right?
I think
I
they're
think
just
it's all just lag and stuff because it takes them a second, then they start flying in.
All right.
Because they at
Glock
least say,
21
"I
and
don't
45?
know."
Again, model and caliber, gentlemen. But is it a 21? 45?
No.
Okay.
Glock 17 9mm.
Where do you see that? Glock
gun
20 and
channels.
10 millimeter?
No. I figured we had a bunch of gun knowledge.
Well, I don't know
Glock
crap about
17
Glocks. They all
L,
look the
not
same to
millimeter?
me.
No, it's definitely
Not a 17L?
It's not a Glock 22. Obvious from this.
Oh, right. The rail is the key, according to Matt.
Well, then how come Matt hasn't guessed correctly then?
Just take it from them. They're obviously not interested in guns. They're just
35 and 40?
41. No. Come on.
Wait, is my microphone does not work today?
No, your microphone works.
Okay,
People
just
just
nobody's
aren't
going to
listening.
answer. Yeah,
Answer what?
okay.
I thought you were saying it's not.
I asked if it was a Glock 35 and 40.
No. I put the answer in the side. I thought you saw the answer.
Oh, no, I can't have that window open large enough. Oh, wait, somebody said that.
No, they didn't. Oh, no, they did. Yeah.
They did.
Matt got it a long time ago. So you're all wrong.
Yeah.
The 21 SF. Obviously, look at all those rails on it. It's the only block made that way. So it's obvious from
What caliber?
He said in 45 ACP.
They're only in 45 DCP.
I was
Okay.
just
So
curious.
wait, so in review, that is what? Matt, Pink, and who was the first
Chris.
guy? Chris, thank you.
Wow, you can read that one. Come on, guys.
You might have a tiny screen.
I
That's true,
do.
you might, but if you don't,
It's like giving it away, really. No one's boycotting this company.
Sig
Except for
229 357. Come on.
the bullets are sitting right there next to it. Come on, we're gonna get a copyright thing because we played this countdown timer so many times.
You're only allowed to play it for 2.5 hours, not 3.
Nobody could figure this thing out. Sad.
Somebody said a real
2000,
gun.
That doesn't have a caliber on it.
The rail is not the key on this one. Springfield XT40. Oh, close, but you got the wrong letters, Abrams. And
And no caliber.
this is bullets are right there.
Balls is the incorrect answer. You're correct in that it is a black pistol, but that is not correct. Sigma 9mm, P226 and 22 LR.
Do you guys not have computer screens or eyes or something?
I got 5 windows open right now, so I can watch everything on a
Yeah, I'm not
small
talking
screen.
about you, Z. I'm talking about
Oh.
the audience. Like, I can read the letters and numbers right there. It's
Right.
not
Oh,
that hard.
yes, I gotcha.
Abrams got it. It's the preliminary. It's the precursor to the XDs. It's the HS 2000.
Nice, good job.
In 9mm.
Good job.
Next,
Uh-oh. Okay, this one I think I know what this one is. Oh wait,
Yep.
nope.
I think
Nope, I was wrong. Because I thought it was the one, but it's the other one. It's not the one that was stolen, right?
It's in non-traditional colors.
Scuzzy 9. No.
Caltech
380?
11 9mm.
Keltec P11 9mm. No.
Is it
LCP 380. No.
Beretta Pico 380?
No.
How many
No.
guns did they make in yellow?
Ugly 9.
There's
Well,
2.
kind of.
It's not a 9.
That's right.
Ooh,
it's
it's not a 9. Good hint.
P3AT 380.
PSAT 380.
Nice,
Hottie.
and so that's 2 hottie. Good job, everybody.
Ready for the next one? I'm not even
I think so.
close to being done with this. Not even close.
No, my computer did a blue screen of death in the middle of it. So is somebody else giving list of winners?
Oh, man.
Smeggy is.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Or Z was. Somebody acted like they were.
I was trying to remember. I don't have a pen. Are you kidding? I just
Chris
walked
was
in the
the
door
first
from
one.
work, man.
Before my computer died.
Yeah, it was what? It was Chris,
380.
Chris, Pink.
Angry. Angry just won this one.
Okay, well, we got to give
Chris,
the list
Pink,
so that we.
Matt, and then 2 hottie, right?
Yep.
And then Angry. Did I miss anyone? 1, 2, 3, 4. Have we done 5 or 6?
Abrams. Because he got the HS 2000 9mm. Abrams.
Abrams. So we've done 6 guns so far.
Well, he's not keeping track.
I have not been keeping track, but it looks
2.
like something.
If anyone in the audience, if you think you won, like, say
These
it.
are the ones that we've done are over here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
All right. So
Excellent.
Chris, Pink, Matt, Hottie, Angry, Abrams.
Excellent job, guys.
Maybe not 100% in that order, but I remember those people. So, okay.
Okay. We're ready for the next one?
Woo!
Oh, snap. Woot is not the name of a gun.
Tech
Tech
9.
9mm. Close enough.
That was Matt barely beat out Sean Connery.
Angry over on YouTube right behind him.
Ready?
Yeah.
Boom.
What? Oh, nice. Long slide.
Just spoil it for everybody. Just make it easy.
Nintendo gun.
Like anybody even knows what that was. Come on, G.
A lot of cash? No. Tech 9? No.
Oh,
Automag 44?
Connery,
No.
ATM Automag 44.
Incorrect. That is not correct. Not correct.
ATM 1911.
No.
We got an AMT 30 carbine.
That's what it is.
And that would be. But
No,
what?
no, it's not. It's not. I thought it was, but it's written right there, so it is not. It is not that.
Okay. Then we do have the. Now, granted, I got an AMT Hardballer 45.
That's way too much.
That's way too much.
Way too much. You can almost say more than twice too much.
ATM Automag 3.
AMT Automag 3 is incorrect.
Okay.
It's too many numbers. It's not the 30 carbine. We've already established that one.
AMT
I got the
45.
AMT 45.
How many other calibers do they make it in? Think about it. It's pretty much a process elimination at this point. We know it ain't 45. We know it ain't 44. They didn't make a 50, so quit acting like they made a 50. They
How
didn't
about an
make-
AMT Automag 357?
They did not make 357 that I'm aware of. Somebody
Automag
put the
2?
answer in there, but didn't decide to do it in the correct format. It is not an NAA 22 mag, and it's not a 45 Automag, although it's the same company. There we go. Automag 2 in 22. No, it's
Mr.
not in
Connery.
22 rifle. An Automag 2 is not in 22 long rifle. I would have thought John Connery would know that.
Oh, ATM Auto 22. Oh,
Yep.
wait, he didn't.
ATM
22 is
Automag
not
2.
accurate enough. 22 is not accurate
Because
enough.
it doesn't have the
Oh, my
caliber.
God. You guys, you should know the answer, what we're saying. Come on.
So it's an ATM Automag 2, but we need the caliber.
It's not an ATM anything. It's an AMT, American Machine.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jeez.
AMT 22 mag.
22 mag. There we go. Cycle Camp figured it out. It's the 22 mag. I actually thought it was the carbine when I first seen it, but now that I'm reading it, it says 22 Magnum right there.
Making fun of my public school education.
Now you just got dyslexia.
So you're giving that to Cycle Camp? Because I saw,
Angry and Sean, but
well, I saw
I think
Chris
Cycle
before
Camp.
that. AMT 22 mag.
No, because it ain't an AMT. That's just the name of the company.
Oh,
It-
AMT Auto. Okay. All right. Cycle Camp. Okay. 10-4.
That'll take us to the next one. Is there more? Could there be more? There's not even.
I don't know.
Pictures.
Might be beating the audience to death today. I don't know.
Did they? If you think the tactical quiz is some sort of thing you can just casually stride into, you know it's most of your grade. You should be ready.
Yeah, that's true.
Make yourself a snack before it. So this one's fairly easy, and you're all communists if you don't know this one. So that's just how it is.
How come nobody's answered yet?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, I could just read it off the screen.
I got Colt 1911 45 ACP.
Nodak.
Yep. More specific.
Yeah. Nodak.
What? Yeah, Nodak was first.
Okay, so that's Nodak on that one.
But that is a M1911A1.
Well, all right, but Colt 1911 was close enough for government work.
And it was used for government work.
Exactly.
Yes,
literally.
sir.
That expression. Boom. Next. Smeggy's favorite
Oh.
gun.
Oh, really? That's my favorite gun?
Oh.
I would say
That is my favorite gun, but okay. I do like the camo job because if you
I
actually
like the
drop it in the
dip.
woods, you'll never find it, and you don't have to deal with it ever again.
It is not a ghost gun. I think Matt got that one.
22 LR.
You know?
Doesn't really
That's
help
what I'm
it.
saying. Matt got it, right?
Half of it. That's what I see.
Wait, what? You don't see Matt saying Sig Mosquito 22 LR?
I said that is what I see. Yes.
Oh, okay. Then yes.
Somebody-
Travis said Sig Mosquito, but doesn't know how to type in 22. You would have won, Travis. You jerk. Follow the
Next.
rules.
So Matt's got a couple.
Yeah, he's got two.
This may be the last one because I don't see any more, and it may be the most difficult depending on your knowledge of guns.
Oh, that's one you don't see every day.
Wow, that's weird looking. I don't know what that is.
You ain't handed nothing to nobody.
Nice. Matt says I got 3. I don't know.
In other words,
Excellent.
he's given up. Styler, 9 mil.
Styler? What?
I can't pronounce it. Matt's answer. Styler? Steyr?
Steyr? Are you trying to say Steyr, Dano?
Steyr,
How
yeah.
about a P95 and 45?
It is not a P95, and it is not the name of the company and a caliber. We're looking for the name of the gun and a caliber.
Right. So basically, like the model.
That's okay, Matt. I can't read either.
So it's made in
Sound
Australia.
like Matt's on
I got a
it.
Jericho 41 9mm.
Nope, it's not a Jericho 41.
And it's not a Baby Eagle 9mm, correct?
Correct.
I got a BDA 9mm. I don't even know what that means.
I don't either, so it's not that. We're not getting anything on the gun channel side at all.
Star Super B 19 9.
Steyr GB? 9
Steyr
millimeter?
9mm. Matt is correct. Matt won that one as well.
So it
Oh
sounds
man,
like
Sean was right behind him.
This is Matt's week.
Yep. So Matt's got, what, 3 or 4 now?
So was somebody tallying that up, I hope?
Yeah, I got them all right here. So what do you want to know? Who has the most answers?
Yeah, I'm hoping that somebody won, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
Matt.
yeah, sure. He actually has 4.
All right. So that's our winner of the tactical quiz. This week, the tactical quiz prizes will be actual prizes. So what we'll do is tomorrow, if Matt's around, he'll be able to pick live on air. We'll get some set up. I forgot today was Wednesday, so I didn't have them set up yet. But we'll let you collect your prizes tomorrow or via email. And stay tuned for tactical quiz next Wednesday. Or the next
Hey,
day.
Matt, by the way, right now, if you could just respond if you can be here tomorrow or not during this time. If you would, Matt, please. Thank you.
I just want
So
to
we
say
can
at
have a
least
heads up.
congratulations to all the guys that at least got one right. Chris, Pink,
Yeah.
Duati, Angry Abrams, Cycle Camp, and Nodak. You guys are all
I just wanna
tied for
thank everybody.
second place.
Everybody participated. That's awesome. There were a lot of guesses out there. There were a lot of guesses out there.
So,
So
this is loot that we all thought we were going to get, but
What?
Whatever Grandpa just said, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Moving along.
So we are looking for some feedback. So our email address is dailygunshow@gmail.com. And I'd like some comment or some feedback on what you think of the quizzes, what the formats, which formats you like best, which ones you liked least. We're going to be enhancing those going forward. And I'd like to know which ones worked the best, which didn't work well with either the video or the audio format. So if you're listening to this as a podcast or through audio later, please again remember our email address, dailygunshow@gmail.com, and give us some feedback. So as we build the tactical quiz up, we do it in a good direction. So we definitely appreciate your feedback on that. All right, so that'll take us into, we did the gun shop of the day? Or am I on the wrong tab again? No, here we go. And then should we get into the movie of the day?
We got all quizzed out is what happened. Sure. That's
All right,
about where
so
we're at, isn't it?
Try to talk about a movie every day, something that has to do with guns, something you might not have seen in a while, or if you're one of the youngins listening, something you ain't heard yet or seen yet. And today it's The French Connection.
Yes, sir. It's a French Connection. What is that? Popeye Doyle, right? Gene Hackman, Heroin, 1970s, early 60s, or late 60s, or something like that. Really good movie. Great chase scene. Nobody else has seen it, or?
Oh, it's one of those movies I've seen it. In fact, I'm sure I've seen it twice, but it was so long ago that I actually can't remember it in detail.
it was a stupid movie. Had a shitty chase scene. I think it sucked.
Bob didn't like it.
Thanks, Bob.
Like it's from the 70s.
Yeah.
Or something. judging, or maybe the 80s, judging from the cars.
71.
Oh shit, yeah.
1971. William Friedkin, the same guy that did The Exorcist, a bunch of other good movies.
Is it in Chicago or is it in France? Almost looks like
New York
Well,
City.
it's in America.
Oh, it says Brooklyn.
Yeah. It says a pair of New York City cops, whatever that is.
Okay.
And I think Roy Scheider's the other guy, right?
The guy from, I can't tell. There's definitely this
Jaws.
guy.
It's Gene Hackman, former, I should say Marine.
And
And
then
then Jaws, yes.
I thought you meant Jaws like James Bond Jaws. And you kept saying Jaws.
Oh, no,
Before he
like
saw the shark.
Roy Scheider.
Before he needed a bigger boat.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it
Yes.
was the shark, like
Yeah,
actual
right.
Jaws.
What is it? It tells the story of New York Police Department detectives Jimmy Popeye Doyle and Buddy Cloudy Russo, whose real-life counterparts were narcotics detectives Eddie Egan and Sonny Grosso. It was the first R-rated movie to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. I think it won Academy Awards for Best Actor, Best Director, Best Editing, Best Adapted Free. Oh wow, this one rocked the Oscars apparently. Best Adapted Screenplay, and then it was nominated Best Supporting Actor, Best Cinematography, Best Sound Mixing, blah 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 blah. So the French Connection is the portion where it is dealing with heroin. So basically, the French criminal runs the largest heroin smuggling syndicate in the world. Okay. And then the zany detectives on the case. It's pretty brutal, dude. Like if you don't watch it on just regular TV, like you'd probably have to watch it on TCM or something, or like Amazon Prime or Netflix or something to get the full blast, pretty much.
I don't remember it being zany.
Just trying to relate to the kids, Dano.
Oh, okay.
Because zany, not at all.
Well, is this one we're recommending or we're just talking about it? Is it getting thumbs up from you?
Oh, it's definitely getting thumbs up for me because it's a great movie. Bob thumbed it down because I think Gene Hackman must have stole his girl or something.
Yeah, I don't know what Bob's hatred of it. I'm going to watch it just for the cars. If it was made in 71, I'm watching it. If they go outside, then it's
Other
71.
shitty cars. Mostly Chevy 4-doors.
Somebody pooped on Bob's Fruit Loops this morning or something.
I
Yes.
guess.
I mean, I remember it vaguely, but I remember it as being a decent movie. So thumbs up.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up because it's from the 70s and there's got to be cool cop cars in it. And I probably have watched it, like Dana said, a long time ago, so I don't remember it.
I would just like to add that one of the things that it does say on its Wikipedia, which is either right or wrong, you take it as you were, says this film is often cited as containing one of the greatest, not worst, greatest car chase sequences in movie history, Bob. Just saying. So.
Yeah, but it was in a Chevy, so it doesn't count.
It was in a Pontiac Le Mans. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Pontiac and Chevy are the same thing, right?
Does it say Chevy or does it say Pontiac?
It's just the trim's different.
Yeah.
So Ford and a Mercury are the same thing, right?
Lincoln too, might as well throw in there.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, so you can take that to your car podcast and talk all about it.
Yep.
I'm going to say that's the movie of the day. So we tried to tell you ones that you haven't seen before, and today worked because this one probably most people haven't seen in a while. So tomorrow it is. What happened? Now it says Mauser.
Well, people move stuff around or add stuff or don't know what they're doing. Sometimes things,
Yeah. So
It's assault on precinct 13, by the way, for tomorrow.
oh, really? Okay. No, I have that on Monday.
I got it for Thursday. And then Friday is Live and Die in LA.
I thought, okay.
Monday is Tropic Thunder.
I thought that pink thing was the weekend. Now I get it. So tomorrow is Assault on Precinct 13. We're
The original.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
the original.
Live and Die in LA. There's more than one of those too, you know.
Well, I'm talking the one that came out in the 80s. That was the guy from CSI, the guy, and I think it might be James Wood in it as well. Like that's a good funk. I was gonna say funky movie, but there's some messed up stuff going on in that one. Excellent. So we got some about gun history and an Instagram something here going on.
I think you like it because of the Wang Chung.
No. I do like it because of the hot chick that's in it, though. I won't lie about that.
All right, what were we talking about next?
We're talking about the gun history Instagram post or something.
I think I just linked it out there that yesterday we missed because Every Second Matters. We were all paying attention to our Second Amendment rights, and we forgot that it was some old German's birthday, Wilhelm Mauser's birthday. Apparently, people like this guy's actions. So it was his day of birth in 1834 yesterday. We missed it.
Well, congratulations, Wilhelm.
The action, like, it's not Canadian.
Well, no, wait. That's the action that the Springfield had to pay for because they basically stole it, basically?
Yep. That was in
And it wasn't really Springfield. That was actually like Springfield Army. That was like the actual federal government, really.
Yes, they were paying the Germans while they were fighting at the end of the war.
How crazy is that?
Wait, you're saying that Springfield back in the day was importing guns from England and putting their name on it? What?
No, they stole the Mauser action.
Sons of bitches. We should start a campaign against that.
Let's talk about the guns.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, 303. So what do we got today? We got the Mark V Lee Enfield Jungle Carbine. And I know there's a lot of haters out there because they think it's not accurate. Back when I was younger, I mean, all the guys who hunted in the bush a lot, they preferred those little jungle carbines because they still had 303, lots of punch. And at short range, they were just fine. And they were dirt cheap, like every other Lee Enfield back in the day. So I think they're a neat little gun. They're not, I guess, as accurate as the full-length ones, but you make some concessions to make it handier.
I say no taxation without representation, and it's a wanker gun. That's what I say.
Wanker. Fastest bolt action in the world.
Doesn't make him any less of a wanker, Bob. That's the sound a wanker makes, isn't it? So so the 303, what is it most similar to in caliber of standard measurements?
Well, it's just a 30 caliber, basically.
A 30-30, a 30 what?
Oh, I don't know. Probably, of course, it came before the 30-06, but it's probably closest to the 30-06. Although it was.
But it's smaller, right?
Yeah, a little bit faster too, but it came, well, maybe not as fast. I don't know. But it came before it, and it's still used to this day effectively. Matter of fact, a few years ago, guys wearing towels on their heads pinned down a platoon of Marines with 2 303 Lee Enfields, and go figure, they couldn't reach them with their gopher guns.
Somebody commented that it's slower still than a K31 Swiss, though.
Yeah, but that's not a bolt action. That's a straight bolt. Different gun.
Wait a minute. No. A straight pull is still a bolt action.
No, it's a camming bolt. It's like comparing the Ross rifle to the Lee Enfield.
A bolt action is a bolt action, whether it's short action, long action, Mauser action. It describes the way that
Take the gas system of an AR-15, it becomes a bolt action, right?
I second Z's opinion.
Well, you're wrong, both of you, but that's just because you guys are.
So I thought it'd be interesting to talk about 303. So we're kind of doing that. It says that it was invented in 1888, and then in 1891 adapted to use smokeless powder. So it was created for black powder. Now it uses smokeless, and then it says it was the standard British cartridge from 1889 until the 1950s, when it was replaced with the 308 7.62x51. So does that mean it's fairly equivalent to 7.62x51?
Pretty close, yeah. I mean, they used it in, it was in use in the Battle of Britain. It shot down a whole lot of Nazi planes. They used it in World War One. I think they used it in the Boer War. No, they actually didn't.
I mean, I'm just going to assume that a 303 is smaller than a 308, but that's just math.
Tiny amount.
Hold on. The 303 is 7.7, and the 7.62x51 is 7.62. So we
Correct.
call it 308 for some reason, but it's 7.62, and the 303 says here on the internet's 7.7x56. So
Actually bigger.
So it is larger then.
it has to do with the British not being able to understand measurement, because they probably measured it in cubits or some shit.
Well, they used imperial measurement, so.
Just another way for the Crown to try and subjugate their subjects,
How
Anyway,
many-
it was a really good round. It worked really well. Like I say, I mean, it probably killed more Nazis than the 30-06 did. So, yeah, I think it's a good round. I like it. I don't.
I've shot
now,
I've
but,
shot the
you know,
British
I won't-
303. It's neat. And I didn't shoot very many rounds to it because they were all like reloads or whatever. It takes a while to like get brass and stuff. You don't really see that sitting on the shelf that often.
I suppose not.
No, I grew up when they were like dirt cheap by the military surplus stuff for next to nothing. But yeah, I've
So
shot
there-
thousands of rounds through them, and they're a good gun.
Making 303 British commercially these days?
Oh yeah, there's still people making it commercially. It's still a viable caliber in Canada. Like I say, our Rangers, our northern, like our Arctic Rangers, used it up until I think just a couple years ago. They switched to a 308, and the main reason was because they're supplied by the military because they're kind of a militia, and didn't have a 308 caliber rifle that that would be adequate for, or that was viable commercially to give to a bunch of people, the militia. So they actually used the 303 right up until just a couple of years ago, because it would stop a polar bear. I mean, if it'll stop a polar bear,
Something to be said for that, actually. All the shit I was giving you earlier, Bob, that's a little kernel of wisdom right there. If it will put down a polar bear, then that's probably a respectable firearm.
But here's the thing. Bob says that, but what he doesn't say is that he puts like a bottle of Coca-Cola out there and waits for like a little adorable polar bear cub to come up to drink it, and that's what he's talking about.
Oh, and that's the one he shoots? Oh.
first you got to put the two penguins next to the Coca-Cola. Otherwise, the bear won't show up.
With a little scarf on it.
And it's really hard to find penguins up there because, of course, penguins don't live in the northern Arctic.
I don't know. I seen the way you walk, Bob.
You can paint a pigeon. You can
You
paint
can, but then damn things keep flying away, right? Penguins, they can't fly, so.
All right.
They fly underwater.
It's true.
It's not really flying.
All right. So that was the 303 in honor of not the British, but just randomly we happen to be on episode 303. So we figured we'd talk about that caliber. That means we're going to be
Excellent
coming
choice.
on what other calibers? Can we do some mathematics here? We're going to have a 308. That sounds pretty interesting. A 338.
Yeah.
Probably some others. A 357 in a couple of weeks.
That'd be
If
cool.
we make it that long, we'll hit the 458 at some point. Do we have a 300 win mag for our 300 show?
No, we didn't actually.
We used a sound clip from that movie. That's about it. Where'd Smeggy go?
Nice. Get enough.
Yeah, sick of this.
There
All right,
was a
so-
girl a knocking.
So we got the movie out of the way. We got that thing there out of the way. We got the gun history done, right? Or did we do the
Yep.
gun?
Well, we talked about Mauser.
Okay, so then
Oh, excuse me. We derided Mauser is what we really did.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point.
is there something else we were gonna do?
We're going to mention gun channels today. I know that.
Oh yeah, Matt's got a show coming up here with the guy from what's it called? John Brown?
John Brown, Redneck Revolution guy.
Yeah. So I guess it'll be me and Matt, and then maybe Yankee, and then that guy for a while, and then he'll open it up to everybody else to jump in, so it doesn't get crazy, I guess. So that'll be interesting for the next little bit. I think that starts in 15 minutes, and then
So
is there anything else tonight?
is that guy essentially kind of like a communist or what?
I thought they
To be
were.
seen. Well, they're anti-fascist, so how can they be communist? But yeah, well, it'll be interesting.
I thought the
That's
John.
that's what Antifa is.
Yeah, they've affiliated themselves with Antifa in some protests, so we kind of got to find out what they're about.
It'll be interesting to say the least, no matter what.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. If he shows
But other
up.
than that, I don't think that's the only other Wednesday chat these days, isn't it? I think. Pink will probably put up a lobby. Probably be what, Sean Connery tomorrow morning? Hopefully.
For Thursday, hopefully.
Yep.
He's able to make it and has good internet access. I know he's had problems with that.
Oh, Smeggy's having some computer issues. Nice. 30-6. Excellent. Let's see. So that sounds like almost it for today, unless anybody has anything else that they want to say, right?
For some reason, I feel like we're missing something, but I guess that's it. So that'll take us. That'll end at episode 303. We'll be back for episode 304 tomorrow, where we will talk about gun stuff, range toys. So I don't know what that means. We'll talk about Mike Pannone for the training segment, unless Dana wants to change it to something. Well, how soon is your training coming up, Dana?
Monday and Tuesday. I
So
will
if
be
you want to, if you want to change that to something to talk about something that's more immediate to your situation, feel free. But then I guess we'll talk about shooting events, and we could talk about Dano's situation, his adventures, or Bob's adventures. He's got some coming up. And of course, anybody that wants to post things over on Gun Channels on the calendar, just go up to the top of any page on Gun Channels, and you'll find the menu up there. Under Resources is the calendar, and everybody's welcome to post things on the calendar that you might be participating in or affiliated with, or you just want to promote. So we'll go over all that stuff on Thursdays. Otherwise, we have our daily stuff, the gun shop of the day, the gun movie of the day, and everything else. We'll see you then, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific.
All right. Well, I guess if nobody's got anything else, we'll end this with our quote as usual. Before that, I just want to remind everybody, please subscribe, share, and like. And let's let's end it with a quote. This one's by Alexander Hamilton. The best we can hope for concerning the people at large is they are properly armed. And that's a wonderful thought to think about. Imagine if the government actually believed in that nowadays. Thanks everybody for watching and listening, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.